Hey, how's it going? We are continuing this series where we're taking a look at different support available. There are a number of different organizations in this series of videos. So we're taking a look at Catapult Network and what kind of support they have available and trying to understand a little bit better about all the opportunities available out there. You know, I'm currently looking at UK as well as I'm currently looking at this organization, but there is not necessarily limited to just UK. And if you're looking for any kind of support, right, it doesn't have to be. But many people perhaps don't know about this kind of organizations who supposed to reach out to businesses perhaps and they should proactively seek to support businesses, right? But business need to reach out to them, right? A wish, right? Within this video, we're gonna be taking a look at offshore renewable energy, and let's try to understand what that is. Offshore renewable energy refers to the generation of electricity from renewable sources located in bodies of water, typically in the ocean. Perhaps because of the wind, right, and perhaps sound or noise pollution. Perhaps a lot of organizations seeking different opportunities. I have seen many of those about 12 months ago, but it's ongoing process with the investments, right? Let's say some of the organizations or even governments within Europe are looking to see or looking to increase their energy production for whatever reason, right? And for even organizations might be interested in setting up different islands, so to say, where they can produce energy by catching wind, right, and bringing that energy back to the shore. To whatever government, right? They not necessarily needs to be limited to just their own government. They can sell it, perhaps, with looking at organizations. Perhaps those organizations can set up facilities and generate a lot of energy with not making that much sound pollution, right? Somewhere in the sea, hopefully, and generate a lot of energy, electricity, right? This form of energy production has gained increased attention at developments due to several advantages, including potentially higher energy yields, reduced visual and environmental impact compared to onshore installations, and the availability of vast expanses of open water. So there's a potential there. What we're comparing it against, right? So perhaps if we're comparing this kind of to production of energy to nuclear, nuclear is way better, right? If we're comparing to onshore, offshore, perhaps offshore might be better when it comes to perhaps having access. I don't know about all the legal framework that many businesses need to understand when setting up this kind of facilities, or perhaps inventing new ways of production, as well as perhaps distillating water and how much energy that whole entire process can require. But let's stick to this video, right? But that potentially might be progression from production into actually use cases. Okay, let's go into more detail about this interesting opportunity called offshore renewable energy. Let's start with offshore wind energy. That would be wind farms. These are collections of wind turbines installations in the ocean to harness wind energy. Offshore wind farms can take advantage of stronger and more consistent wind compared to onshore locations. Again, we're comparing on and offshore, right? So that's what we compare against. Floating wind turbines in deeper waters, their fixed foundations are not feasible. Floating with wind turbines can be deployed. They are anchored to the seabed but float on the surface, allowing installation in deeper waters. So I have seen it. There's an option there as well as those turbines can be floating. I don't know. I would like to do a little bit more research to understand are there any successful projects, since I have done some research to understand how many different ways how people can harness energy. Either way, I don't know which one is the best and what's the most optimal one, but that sounds like a costly upfront investment. Tide energy, tide stream systems are more interested in this particular system, right? Tide, and I have taken a look at some of the projects within UK who are trying to harness tide energy. These systems are used kinetic energy of moving water to generate electricity. Underwater turbines or other devices are placed in areas with strong tide currents to capture the energy. Well, I'm not entirely sure, but I think maintenance fee or to maintain that equipment, it can be very expensive. Yes, I wish there would be better ways, but perhaps there is a lot of room for improvement, if anything. Wave energy, wave farms. Essentially, is generated by harnessing or the movement of ocean waves. Devices such as buoys, oscillating water columns, or other mechanisms capture the energy from the motion of the waves. Okay, so there's opportunities there. Again, who are we comparing? How much tide energy can generate compared to some of the reactors, like massive reactors? Again, okay, there's options there. Ocean thermal energy conversion. Systems utilize the temperature difference between warm surface water and cold deep water to generate electricity. This temperature gradient is exploited using a heat engine. Okay, so I can see a lot of potential there. I don't know how good some of those engines are and current methods of capturing some of that energy, but perhaps there's some potential there. Uh, Salinity gradient power, blue energy. This technology exploits the difference in salinity between fresh water and salt water to generate electricity. It typically involves the use of membranes or other methods to harness the osmotic pressure created by the salinity gradient. Okay, I'm seeing this particular way for a first time, but I can understand since molten salt reactors, right? Perhaps they work to some extent very similar. Key advantages of offshore renewable energy include potential for large or more consistent energy production, as well as ability to place installations away from densely populated areas. Reducing visual air noise impact, however, challenges such as high initial costs. I think that's one of the biggest problems currently. Technical difficulties in the deep sea installations and potential environmental impacts needed to be addressed. I'm barely scratching the surface. It's such a unique challenges that people might be presented once entering some of those markets. But either way, perhaps competition is not that businesses are interested in competing within those markets, right? As technology advances, hopefully, as well as perhaps more people should be interested in this kind of things, right? So more attention, and with the attention, perhaps all the good things and resources can follow, right? And technology will advance and more projects are implemented. Offshore renewable energy is expected to play a significant role in meeting global energy demand while reducing reliance on fossil fuels. It's something that we're currently doing, right? And mitigating climate change. So that would be some of those issues that we would be looking to address with this project. Let's jump on the company's website. I'm going to be taking a look at Catapult's network that website. I skipped one part, which was medicine discovery. I wasn't sure if I can go too much into detail, just in case people would do some interesting things. So I'd rather skip that. or instead of sharing some information that can perhaps make any impact from one person doing something that he shouldn't to other people, right? So skip medicine entirely, right? So, but for those of you who are interested, there's an option there. If you would go on Catapult Network website, I don't know. We're talking about internet. You can find all kind of people on the internet. So I thought I would skip that. And but if you are professional, if you have qualifications and you're interested in medicine discovery, I would recommend to reach out. Perhaps if it's something that you do have qualifications, feel free to reach out for assistance there, right? But within this video, we are taking a look at offshore renewable energy. Offshore Renewable Energy Catapult are the UK's leading technology innovation and research centre for offshore renewable energy. Their unique facilities, researchers, and engineers catapults play a role in diversifying UK's net zero targets by accelerating creation and or growing of the UK's companies. At least this is something that they should be looking to achieve, and perhaps not necessarily just because of a recent speech done, right. So they're gonna be licensing more companies, right, when it comes to drilling. So it's something that they're making a lot of shifts, right? Licensing more companies, as well as perhaps some of that money might be invested into offshore renewables as well. But either way, UK companies in offshore renewable energy sector bringing together industry and academia to drive innovation in renewable energy. I have published a course for people who are interested in learning more. Within this course, I'm going to be covering 12 different areas, which I personally believe would be very important for people who would like to develop themselves. Most of the things that I'm completing within this course haven't been taught in schools. Some of those areas would be hard to set goals, which I personally believe or should be taught within the school. I don't know what they're doing there, but either way, as well as budget, a very common sense approaches that everyone should know, right? How to have a budget. I don't know what kind of schools others people are going. I have some of the schools, right? But either way, some of those areas, 12 in total, cover in depth within this course. If you are interested, you can find it in the link below, as well as a QR code in the corner. As well as, if worst case, you can reach out to me if you have any questions. Just to summarize today's video, that would be offshore renewable energy. There's a lot of shifts, as well as there are a lot of opportunities. If you were to develop something interesting that can potentially be cost effective way of producing energy, but not this needs to be limited. This project not this would be limited to energy, right? So perhaps some of the drilling platforms that they're using for drilling, perhaps there's some potential there, acquiring some of the equipment or discounted equipment, perhaps. But either way. So if anything, there's government support available if it's something that you yourself would be interested in. Go ahead and reach out to this network, right? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.